Well, hello students in Language Arts 6B. While I'm sitting here by the fire getting a little toasty, I thought I'd welcome you to our class and give you some ideas, some pointers that will help you in our class this semester. Okay students, so here we are. We're in the classroom. And this is going to be your home screen. Your home page is going to look something similar to this. This is of a student called English Fake Student. We're just going to move around here and we're going to go to actually page 2. We're doing this recording here for students in Language Arts 6B. And let me explain a few things before we really get moving here. This engagement will show the last time you engaged into a course. So I have not gone into the geometry course here. That's why it says never access. But I have gone into this course, which is today's date. And I've gone into another course, so on and so forth. You will not see time in this column here. We're working on trying to get that replaced, but whatever that happens, that will be great. Meanwhile, just ignore that column. The pace column and the grade column are a couple different things that you need to be aware of. And let me go ahead and explain what you're seeing there. First of all, in pace, there are a total of 86 days in this course. So after 86 days, we're going to be complete. And if we started today, and today being the first day of a semester, we have been here 1 out of 86 days. So if you divide that number, how much percent you got to get done in a day, if you're looking at it this way, it will tell you here. And as of right now, it's like a really minute number. But if you get behind, your number is going to show up in red. Currently in these 3 classes here that I teach, you see it's in green. I'm actually ahead of the ball game. So you want to stay ahead of the calendar. That's your best bet, because at the end you'll have some makeup days if you need to go back and redo assignments. Once you get behind, it's very hard to catch up. The last column is grade, and you're going to notice here in the grade, for example, that there is, and we're looking at why it's not doing it for all language courses, but you may see posted here where it gives you a percentage and then a number in parentheses. Well, the percentage is if all assignments were given a 0 until they were completed, and in this course there has been some assignments completed, they only have a 4%. But you will also notice that we operate by points, and so each assignment is worth a certain amount of points. In this case, the student has already earned 31 points in that class, and in this class only 10 points. So it's important to know that. You might see 2 different numbers here. Where it matters the most is within the course itself. Okay? So let's go into the course. This is Language Arts 6B classroom. And the first place I want to show you is what's called this course. And right here, if you click on it and you go to grades, you're going to see your grade book. And I'm going to try to explain this to you in the best possible way so you don't freak out. You will notice in 6th grade that there's a folder called coursework and there's a folder called pretests. There are actually 4 pretests that you will take. You might not do well. You may do well. Okay? But majority of the time, the students that take the pretests, they don't do well because you are being tested on material that's going to appear in the course. So it's understandable that you might not know it yet. So notice where you have this 80, and it's out of a score of 0 to 100 because that's what ranges. That is how many points. So the least amount of points is 0. That one, the most is 10. You look here, the pretest, least amount is 0, the most is 100, and there's an 80. Okay. Now notice where at the end of the pretest and end of the coursework there are numbers, and at the end of the course total there is a number. You see this course total, this is where your grade is going to be, and as of right now you have 10 points and you've only attempted 10 points. That count. So the pretests don't count. You don't have to worry about them showing up. Bottom number, 10 out of 10. That would mean that you currently have a 100. If you had a 9 out of 10, and this number was 9, you would have a 90% for the class. So just to give you an idea, that's what's going on here, so you'll understand. And of course, at any time you have any questions, just let me know. Now the first question I know you're going to have is, how many points do we need in our class? Well, if you add them all up, this number here will say 0 to 1017. Okay, so at the end of the course, 1017. That means roughly, in order to pass the class with a D-, you have to have about 610 points. So the first goal is getting to that 610, naturally. But notice here that there are some numbers that say 0 to 100. Okay? And there are a lot of them. Mr. L, what do you mean 0 to 100? If I count all these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and so on and so forth. Those will be changed. They'll look like this, 0 to 1. You'll see it. And it'll be 1017. That brings me up to another point. Notice 0 to 1 here, 0 to 1 on these first few. Anytime you have a mastery test, the most that it's worth is 1 point. Now on a mastery test, you have to correctly score 4 or 5 out of a possible 5. That would give you the 1. If you don't get the score of a 4 or a 5 on it, you'll get a 0. That is okay, because there are approximately 15 mastery tests, and if we did the math, we would understand that mastery tests are only worth about 1% of your course grade. That means you could get 100 on everything but the mastery test, you would still end up with a 99 for the class. And that's a pretty good grade. So that's what's going on there. Moving on from there, let's go into our assignments. So we're going to be in the course, and I'm going to move over here. And you're going to notice that when you first enter, you'll see something like course information and introduction. And you go into the course and you'll see some assignments, but there's nothing below it. Well, if you notice on the right and left hand sides of the column, there are arrows and you can move over. Now, if I wanted to get into understanding internal conflict, I cannot, because what it says here is that I am not, or this assignment is not available unless I have completed the activity 6.6.2, recognizing external conflict. Okay. And I have not, because this box is empty. Notice the box above it has a check mark. What happens when we complete an item such as this, recognizing external conflict, will then have a check mark. But in order to do that, we will have to have completed the reading and the tutorial. So when you click into the assignment, you will see something like this. if you do not see this and it asks you for a login, please contact me the first time, because we'll need to walk through and clean your cache on your computer. And the cache is where they store these files, so the next time we go into them, they're a little bit easier to access. Now, you must hit this tutorial first, because if I try to go in the mastery test, okay, sometimes it will not allow you to get into. Now, I have already looked at the external conflict, so that's why it's letting me in. And then you will get 5 questions, and we're just going to just click a few here. So we're just going to we're going to click C here just to see what it does. And we have that. And let's see. Next, let's click that. And we're going to go there. And let's go with that there. Let's see what our score was. Okay, total questions, total answer. Tells me how much time. Now, if you're completing a test in 1:16, I know you just clicked everything. You should be taking a little bit longer to complete your test. Now, it tells me I had 3 correct, 2 incorrect. I did not reach my goal of 4 correct answers. Please review the lesson material. So, okay, I'm going to have to review the lesson material. I can no longer get in to that assignment. I have to go into the tutorial and view it. Once I have completed the tutorial, and we're going to go ahead and just pause that screen for a second. But you will notice that right here is an exit button. Okay, until you've completed all 29. In this case, this lesson has 29 slides. You will have Save As. And then you can click the Save button, and it will bring you back here. You go into the assignment, and you want to skip around, and it's not going to let you do it. You can turn off the gentleman if you need to. You'll have some information that will give you as you go. Okay, so he's reading it, and you can have it read to you. Okay, now, if you fill this in and then hit submit, and we're going to say, Mr. L, I do not know. And I think we need to use a comma after Mr. L here, because now you do know me. And you hit submit, you're going to see where it says submitted. It doesn't go to me. It just sits out in cyberspace. Okay? So this is what I want you to do. In your English notebook, I would like for you to just highlight, copy that item in your English notebook. Then highlight your answer, and then after that, and you copy that, after that, highlight and copy that answer. Paste those into your notebook. This way you have something to review. Okay. So I'm just clicking because teacher's got this up. Look at this, I'm trying to click, it won't go through. I have to answer something. Okay. If you do not, it's going to ask you to try again. Okay. And where I have it right, and then it gives me a short explanation. So you can't get moving through without doing the work. So you have to do the work. That's very important. So, there you have it. Our class has a lot of interesting items in it. And there were some areas I wanted to make you aware of so that you don't struggle or just take away a little bit of that anxiety. I look forward to working with you this semester. Remember, send me a note on the Remind text app or email me or give me a phone call, on that telephone thing, sits on the desk, that ancient device, unless you have one of those smart ones that can video record like. So, I look forward to working with you. Work smarter, not harder. Until next time, have a great day. Okay, there's a little bit more left here. First of all, please address me as Mr. Lukashevsky or Mr. L. If you have a name that you'd like to go with that's a little bit shorter, but for some reason mom or dad named you with this longer name, let me know. It's not a problem. Oh yeah, I talk with my hands a lot. I also talk with one of these. See this little doohickey here? I put it over my head and then I can talk to you on the phone. It's not only useful for that, but it's also useful when I type. Sometimes, some days, I have difficulty typing. I have what's called Parkinson's disease. But it doesn't slow me down, or I don't allow it to slow me down. I don't use it as an excuse. In life, we are going to find many difficulties that we will encounter on a daily basis, sometimes a yearly basis. Sometimes we aren't going to be ready. Sometimes we are. It's a part of life. We can't choose the cards that are dealt to us, but we can choose how we play those cards. So, if you have difficulty, if you are sick, if you have a diagnosis that makes it difficult for class, let me know. I understand, and we will find ways to work around it. I found a way to work around the difficulty I have with typing some days, and that is with using my voice and using a product called Dragon, Naturally Speaking. Education is a fun road, a long road, but yet fun road. Get the most out of it. What you are going to do the rest of your life, you think, well, I don't have to go to school anymore. You know what? You go to school every day until the time you take your last breath. You are always learning something new, whether it is out of a textbook or whether it is with a baby in your arms. You're always learning. So, let's enjoy this experience. I look forward to working with you. If there's anything you need, feel free to let me know. And I look forward to the excitement and fun in this semester in our class. Until later, as I always say, work smarter, not harder. Have yourselves a great day.
Fireball.